And this isn't going to be a very informative video. It's not going to be a video where I impart my wisdom and sage advice onto you, the patrons of YouTube. It's going to be a video wherein I inflate my own ego and sense of self-worth. Today, I'm being quite ambitious, and hopefully this video will be fairly substantial in its scope, its range, its content, and in its effect on the YouTube landscape. So, I'm going to make another video about the monarchy. This is an issue that some people, and seemingly a lot of people, just don't care as much about as I do. So I'm going to try and deal with this as diplomatically as possible, and before I begin, state that although I do have strong views on the monarchy, and I believe I am right, I am by no means unassailable. Being the head of the British royal family, being the monarch of the British royal family, is a position of almost incalculable privilege. Literally one of the most privileged positions that exist on planet Earth. And for people to twist that into a narrative of hard work on behalf of our country that peons such as ourselves should be thankful for and eternally grateful for, I find that genuinely offensive. What don't I like about the United Kingdom? Oh wait, that's right! The fucking monarchy! I'm in such a bad fucking mood. The only thing that can alleviate my bad mood is some good old-fashioned fucking ponage. Oh, poor Queenie! Sometimes her body clock is fucked. I'm sure it's not fun, but travelling long distances does not mean that you work hard. When you talk about hard work, you're invoking certain things. You're talking about toil, sacrifice, mental, physical, and emotionally taxing work. Work that stops you being able to spend time with your family. Work that you have the risk of losing if you don't perform very well. None of this applies to the Queen. Listen to the last thing he says. The monarch is, oddly, one of the least free people in the country in terms of basic rights that the rest of us take for granted. Imagine that. Imagine the fucking Queen walking into some council house somewhere and saying, "Oh, you're so lucky here. I don't have many of the rights that you take for granted, like voting and voicing my opinions publicly. You lucky bastard." Who do you think gets to choose the Prime Minister in the case of an unresolved hung parliament? I'll give you a clue. It rhymes with the schmonarch. Oh, I'll tell you, it's the monarch! And I know what some of you are saying now. That's all ceremonial. That never actually happened. The thing is, it's happened already in this Queen's reign twice. Now, if you don't know already, I am actually British. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but yeah, I'm totally, like, full-on Brit. I don't know what it is about being English that gets you on the fast track to YouTube stardom, but it does work in your favour a little. So everyone else, you really need to work on your English accents to try and convince us all that you are actually from here. And my fellow English people, sit back and enjoy being English. A lot of people say this, alright, was that there's no such thing as a British accent, it's just an English accent. Well, first of all, there is such thing as a British accent, okay? There are English accents, there are Scottish accents, there are Welsh accents. They are all British accents, alright? Because they are all from Britain. Saying that there's no such thing as a British accent is exactly like saying there's no such thing as a British person. This video is going to be a rant about abortion. There is absolutely nothing wrong with abortion, and I just want to say that I am not pro-choice, I'm just anti-coat hanger. Thanks a lot for that one, Wikipedia. And to all the people who are saying that my accent is ugly and harsh, you can all fuck off. I am proud to be a Scouser, and I don't give a fuck that my accent sounds like the dying wails of a cat who is having his head crushed in a workman's vice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to do a tasteful charcoal drawing of Derek Accorda having a wank. Now fuck off, you bunch of woolly backs. Good evening, YouTube. So, I've decided I want to do a video on the state of the train system in the United Kingdom. Now, I know that a lot of you probably aren't that interested in trains, but I am.
Hey everyone. Well, the 112th Congress has only been in session for a little under a month, and the House Republicans have already introduced legislation that once again shows they are the party of individual liberty, small government, and free enterprise. H.R. 3, or the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion Act, was introduced by Representative Chris Smith of New Jersey's 4th District. Before we discuss that, though, it's important to remember something known as the Hyde Amendment. You know what? Fuck this. I want to go play D&D. But first...
Awesome. This is going to be a follow-up to my latest video on modern art, because clearly I did not explain myself well enough, because a lot of people weren't getting it, and seeing as how I'm all but infallible, I need to correct this wrong. And yes, that is Vivaldi in the background that you are hearing. He's quite obscure, you probably haven't heard of him. You know things that piss me off? A lot of them are on YouTube. So without further ado, welcome to the things that piss me off on YouTube, part 3. Number 1. People telling me that they're going to unsubscribe. Let me just make this absolutely clear to anyone who thinks that they're going to unsubscribe from me in the future. I don't care. Let me show you something. Roll clip. Hello everybody and welcome to my demonstration. I have here in this attractive series of containers approximately 5.2 litres, which is 5,200 millilitres, approximately 1 milliliter per subscriber. Now let's see what happens when we remove 1 milliliter. Fuck you! I really don't want to sound bitter, and I get that sense of humour is subjective to some extent. Like, I don't know, this? Police brutality! Woo! Nah, funny.
I don't know why people can't identify that what they're doing isn't dumb as fuck.
I mean, I could do that. Consumerism! McDonald's!
And so, in my state of the union, or my speech to the nation,
George Bush! And Hitler! For some reason. Implying that everybody but you is somehow asleep to some sort of government conspiracy is probably the most arrogant thing you ever come across. I actually out-trolled a troll. He then sent me a friend request and subscribed to me. If I could be any cartoon character, I would probably be the Joker, because I think we have a lot in common. I think we can relate. Like, he had a really messed up childhood, and so did I, because my parents divorced last year, and he's really dark and tormented, and that's how I feel a lot of the time, you know? I bet a lot of other people would say, like, Superman and, you know, Bugs Bunny, but I really think I relate to the Joker. I think we'd be really good friends. Which is why I think it's odd that in his last video, Brett Keane calls me a little bastard, calls me ignorant, among other things, and makes several claims about me which are completely unsubstantiated and hypocritical.
This jackass right here goes after Pat Condell in one of the most fucking ignorant ways possible.
Good going, Brett Keane. Good job. Basically, Mr. Keane, you took my video out of context, you missed its point completely, you're an idiot, you're a hypocrite. Basically, I really don't care about trolls. It doesn't piss me off that people try to troll me because I just ignore them. What pisses me off is that they think I care. I haven't slaved over hot Sony Vegas editing software for over a year, but people just be walking around thinking that LatumWay cares. That is the last thing I want people to think of me. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, Jacob, stop being so nasty. Well, guess what? I didn't come on YouTube to make friends. I came here to win.
You should have planned for curses from the God you disobeyed. Now he hates all you do cause you love fornicating. Stop praying, God will not hear you anymore. You got the boys and the girls to be proud for.
And why I do not think that it's a laughing matter. And so let's return to this concept of forever. This is what hell is to the followers of Abrahamic faiths. It is forever, it is eternal, it's infinite, it has no end, it is truly, temporally permanent. The pain that you experience there is also more extreme than you could ever imagine. So the Abrahamic definition of hell is a cruel mixture of infinity and pain. The thing is though, this quite obviously runs counter to the idea of an all-loving God. Fuck you, religion, you whore of a concept. You dirty, filthy shit smear of a cum stain on society's Sunday best. Saying things like that will quickly get you a vast following of angry, angsty, apoplectic atheists. And even with these doubts, even if I'm as generous as I can possibly be with any qualms I have with my own positions, these arguments,
at the very best, can only prove a very, very weak and diluted form of deism. Some supernatural first cause that you might not even be able to comfortably describe as God, that might not necessarily even be conscious, that might not necessarily even still exist. That's all you can prove, even with the most liberal interpretations of these arguments. And it certainly doesn't justify organised religion. Truly strict and rigorous adherence to special dietary laws and what clothes you can wear and what rituals you have to perform and how you can pray and who you can marry and who you can fuck.
Because of their homophobia, they have derived a negative meaning from the word gay. They don't think being gay is okay. They think it's a bad thing, and so they use the word to describe bad things. So essentially what you are doing when you use the word gay to describe something bad in general is referencing homophobia. The word gay is currently used to describe someone who is a homosexual. That definition is being used now. So the point is, the definition hasn't changed. When you say that's gay, you're saying it's bad because it's homosexual.
And if you say that gays are not disgusting sexual deviants who are hastening the moral downfall of modern society, they will reward you for it.
What is the gay agenda? What is it? Where is it? Where is it? Good question. Everywhere. What the gay agenda has been defined as by anti-gay people ranges from gay people want to normalize their relationships, okay, perish the thought, all the way to the other end of the spectrum, which is gay people want to convert your children to homosexuality by raping them so that they can send them to hell with all these other gay minions, because gay people are, you know, messengers of Satan, and they all have AIDS, even lesbians, and they also eat shit. They eat shit, like for dinner, knife and fork. Chopsticks. Such is the gay agenda.
I'm not doing this because I feel I owe you a response, or because I feel that you are worthy of my time or respect, or because I think that you will necessarily be persuaded by what I have to say. I'm doing this because I think that the other people who may watch this might be. Even though I will be addressing you personally, this video is really more for, you know, reasonable people.
Here it is. Here's the gay agenda. This is what the gay agenda is. The gay agenda is an attempt by gay people to get straight people to not hate them. That is the gay agenda.
Yeah, how vain of gay people. How utterly self-absorbed it is to want your union to be recognised with the same legitimacy and status as the unions of your heterosexual friends and family members. Jesus Christ, faggots! Get over yourselves.
If there is a gay agenda, there is certainly, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, there is certainly a straight agenda. There is certainly, without a doubt, a social compulsion to promote heterosexuality. It's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. It's on billboards, it's on shopping bags, it's on posters, it's on TV, it's in the radio, it's on the internet, it's fucking everywhere, okay? Now, part of that is innocent enough, based entirely on the fact that there are more heterosexuals than non-heterosexuals. But there is certainly a concerted attempt by certain parts of society to promote heterosexuality as the norm. Not just numerically, in terms of, you know, there being more heterosexuals than non-heterosexuals, but morally, as the moral norm. That heterosexuality is something to aspire to. That you out there, yes, you, that if you are going to be sexual, you'd better be heterosexual. And that is what the gay agenda is trying to fight against.
Real relations? Homosexual relationships aren't real relationships? Fuck you! There is no reason to believe that homosexual relationships are any less real than any other relationship. So again, fuck you. Furthermore, where the fuck do you get off thinking that you have the right to vote on whether other people have the right to enter a legal union with each other? Who the fuck cares what you think? Why is homosexuality any better than incest, bestiality, paedophilia, sadomasochism, or necrophilia? Well, as for bestiality, paedophilia, or necrophilia, what part of two consenting adults do you perpetually fail to comprehend? As for sadomasochism, what, you mean getting off on whipping people? What the fuck is wrong with that? If you're into it and it's all consenting, what the fuck? Where's the problem? As for incest, it's got nothing to do with two consenting adults. For instance, you may get a brother and a sister who are two consenting adults having sex. One could argue that that is wrong because if they have a child, it is much more likely to be born disabled or deformed. Homosexuality has nothing to do with any of those. It is two consenting adults having sex, or more importantly, being in love. Moving on once again to the argument against gay marriage that I abhor the most. First of all, gay marriage is not an equal right. It's a special right. The truth is, gays have the right to marry the opposite sex just like everyone else. That is equal.
Fuck you. I hate this argument for two reasons. Number one, the people that make this argument know exactly why that is a fallacious argument. They know that the reason that gays and straights are not equal in this situation is because gays cannot marry those that they are in love with, whereas straights can. That is why they are not equal. And the second reason why it is a bullshit argument is because it contains its own refutation. If, for instance, we make same-sex marriage legal, then straight people can participate in it as well. So it isn't a special right. Now obviously you'll get the response, but I don't want to marry someone of the same sex. Exactly! And gay people don't want to marry people of the opposite sex. That is why it is unequal. There is no evidence to suggest that there are certain things that a father can give that a mother can't, and a mother can give but a father can't. None whatsoever. Now yes, maybe if there is a situation where there is a single mother, the single mother might have to do things that would usually be assigned to the father. Like, I don't know, stick up for yourself. But there's no reason why a male has to be doing that. By the same token, there's no reason that a man can't do things that would usually be assigned to the mother. A man could do all the feminine things like teach his kids to cook, cry, talk about their feelings, because that's all women ever do. To be quite honest, this idea that there are certain things only a father can give and certain things only a mother can give is an indication of a rather old-fashioned and sexist mindset. The belief in very rigid gender roles in the family. Well, guess what? It's not as simple as that. Families come in all shapes and sizes, and it is still perfectly possible in these situations to not raise your kid to be a twat. Got some funk. This gem of a YouTuber made his mark during his successful world record attempt in which he pierced 142 penises in 1 hour, using his patented tear and stab technique. He actually did perform 147 piercings, but 5 were disqualified after they died of penile shock. Yes, that's a thing. He's also notable for being the keyboardist in the absurdist synth band Synthpathy.
Hey there YouTube, what's going on? So, in the wake of my latest video on why I think that capitalism is good, I've decided that I'm going to do a video on why I think that socialism is bad. But first... This video is going to be a rant about how much I love books. If you don't know already, I really love reading. It's one of my biggest hobbies. So I'm just going to lead you through some of my books that I really like. First of all, we've got Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. I absolutely love this book. Next, we've got Animal Farm. I absolutely love this book. Then we've got Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I absolutely love that book.
Hey everyone, so I wanted to look at a quote by none other than William Lane Craig, wherein he says, "Should a conflict arise between the witness of the Holy Spirit to the fundamental truth of the Christian faith and beliefs based on arguments and evidence, then it is the former which must take precedence over the latter, not vice versa." So what I wanted to look at in this... Oh, hang on, I haven't updated my Twitter in over 5 minutes. I've got to go.
Hello everybody, it's LatumWay here, or Jacob, as you probably all know me by now. I'm just letting you know that I'm going to be starting a new video series on the metal community and why they're all assholes. And can I please remind all my Swedish viewers to please subscribe to my Swedish language channel, which is called Hurdy-Gurdy. It's been good. I just wish more people were left to share it with. They all leave you in the end. Wow, I did not know that it would be that dramatic and such a downer. Oh well. I love you guys. See you on Jacob Truman. Mwah.